day 1019. It's 10:20 p.m. I'm going to bed. I did not go to sleep. I got up and I had to meal prep because my calendar is fully booked tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if I didn't meal prep tonight, it probably wasn't going to happen. And I know myself, like if I don't have food prepared, it is very easy to eat bad food. And so I ate healthy all last week because I had healthy food prepared. And so I just knew I had to do it. So I got up, I made this vegetable farro soup, this like a Israeli vegetable soup, which is really good. And I use farro in it instead of rice, which is super healthy, a really healthy grain. And then I roasted some potatoes, and what else? Oh, and then I made a bunch of juice. So I'm getting down with the juice. Today was a huge victory because in the morning when I picked up my mom on her way to church, I stopped at Whole Foods to get us some breakfast. And usually I'd get like eggs and bacon and maybe a piece of French toast or something like that. And I went over and I got a vegetable spring roll. And then I got my mom a biscuit sandwich and like a biscuit breakfast sandwich. And then I went over, which that was like, phew, that was challenging. The most challenging one is when I went to the coffee bar. I was like, I can get coffee or I can get a juice. And last time I was there, I got a juice and it was like kale. No, it was apple, beet, carrot, something like that. And it wasn't like horrible. And so I went up to order and I was sure I was going to get a coffee in the last moment before I spoke. I changed it to a juice and I was like, victory. And then I was like, okay, well, I know I like this juice, but I want one that's like super healthy. So I looked over and there's one called the Green Dream, which was parsley, spinach, kale, cucumber, celery, ginger, like just like hell in a cup. It was just like fresh grass. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to drink it, but that's what I ordered. And I took the first sip and I was like, okay, I can do this. And I drank it and I was really proud of myself, and it got better and better. So the juices are starting to taste better. And I was just looking back at this last week, and there were a couple nights where I only slept like 5 hours, 4.5 hours, but I had so much energy. And I'm thinking that I'm really feeling the effects of eating really healthy and also going to the gym and praying and reading the Bible and all these things that I'm doing on my list and serving people. Like, it's just, I have way more energy than I have before, and it feels really, really good. But so I got a bunch of healthy food prepared in the fridge, ready to go. So I'm set up for success, because I wasn't going to have time tomorrow because I have the podcast interview. And then I messaged my friend. He was like, oh my gosh, can we please move it to next week? We actually came to Austin. And I was like, yes, perfect. Because I want to reach out to all the new believers tomorrow. And tomorrow's a new believers class. And so I have so much stuff to get done tomorrow. So I was like, that is perfect, bro. Yes, that absolutely is perfect. So that was great. And at church today, got there. One of my friends and warriors of God was struggling, was able to pray for them. And it's crazy because when I got up this morning, I like went to the edge of my bed and I prayed, and I was just like, and by the way, I woke up at 4:45 this morning on a Sunday, which is awesome. I didn't need to, but I did. And I got on my knees and I was praying, and I was like, God, like, what is your will today? And the answer I got was love my people. And I was like, okay, I don't think that was my own thoughts, because that sounds like something God would say, love my people. And I was like, okay, got it. And I picked up my mom, and I could tell she was battling some things. And so I was just listening to her. I was like, Mom, you could tell me, just vent. And she just vented, and I just listened. And she was like, thank you so much for listening. And we got to the church, and I was like, what do you need? And she's like, I just need love. And I was like, dang, that's crazy, because God said today, love my people. And then when we walked inside, I met with one of the other warriors, and all they needed was love. Like, I gave them a hug and prayed for them. And then the service starts, and one of the pastors gets up there, and she's like, this verse just really called to me. Perfect love cast out all fear. And I was like, dang, love. And it was just love, love, love everywhere. And I was like, wow. And so we were going through worship, and I just got this message from my mom, from God. And the message was, remember how strong I made you. And I looked over to her, and I was like, Mom, God just said to me to tell you, remember how strong I made you. And it's like she snapped out of it in a moment. It was crazy. And in that moment, I realized that a word from God produces instant freedom for people. Like, if it's a word from man, not instant freedom. If it's a word from God, it's instant freedom. It's instant bondage breaking. It's instant chain breaking. It's instant fruit. And I was like, wow. And I ended up taking 4 cards of notes, and it was super powerful. And then today was when I start the new believers director position. And so at the end of service, when people give their lives to Jesus, I go stand down by the cross, and me and one of the other warriors stand there. And so the first service, like, a bunch of people raised their hand, but only, I think, 2 people walked over. They got to figure out how to get people down there. But they were great conversations. And then the second service, we did the same thing, and there were like 5 people or 6 people. And I just like took over. I just like started talking, and it was just the things that were coming out of my mouth. I had no idea. I had nothing planned, but it sounded so good. And I was just so excited for people, and I was just so enthusiastic and so alive. And I was like, I found my role in this church finally. Like, I found my role, and I love it. I love talking to them. I'm so excited for them. You just gave your life to Jesus. It's literally the greatest decision you've ever made in your life, and now you're starting this journey, and you're like, now what? Well, we're going to hold your hand, and we're going to walk you through a process and answer all your questions, and just make sure that this is the most powerful journey of your life. And just like started saying all this stuff, and it was just so genuine from my heart. And I was so excited to see them, and I told them all I'm going to reach out to them, and we'll grab coffee, and just want to get to know them and their story, and see how I can help them and serve them. And it was just like, it was so good. It was so good. Then I was leaving that, and then one of the people on the prayer team called me over and was like, Chris, can you pray for them? And it's these 2 couples that are new believers. It's only their second time at the church. They're coming to the new believers class tomorrow. I invited them, and they were so excited. The conversation that I had with them and the other person, it was amazing. So yeah, such a good day. And I just really realized, like, it's crazy, because standing at the cross was me and 2 other warriors of God. Another warrior was right to the right of us, playing on the drums. My mom was right a few aisles away from us. And it was just like amazing. My mom talked to like 4 people today after church and just had great conversations. And I just like see the warriors, and it's just like, man, God is doing something huge, huge. And God really showed me today, like, Chris, you're leading these people, and they trust you. And it's a big responsibility, which is why I need to keep crushing it on my battle calendar, which I'm 100% right now. I haven't missed anything a single day. And something is just shifting in me. Like, I know I have to lead, and I gotta lead powerfully and boldly. And God was like telling me, you're a general in my army, and you're leading warriors, and you got to go first. Like, you have to be the demonstration for them. And that's what I'm doing. So there's no going back. There's no quitting. There's no returning to the unhealthy life that I was living. There's no returning to the lust. There's no returning to all the junk food. There's just no returning to that. Like, and I can already see it in my actions, like, in my desires. It's just, I mean, I got freaking vegetable spring rolls and a green juice for breakfast. Like, who, what? And I made like 6 or 7 bottles of juice tonight. Super healthy soup. Like, yeah, just really proud of myself, and I just need to keep this going because this is me. Like, I'm stepping into my greatness. Really, truly, for the first time in my life, and it feels amazing, and I see the fruit that it's producing, and it's just such an incredible blessing. And I'm laying in bed with my new sheets. Yeah. But it's crazy. God said, love my people. And when I got to church today, there was just a heaviness over everyone. I just felt a heaviness in the church. It's crazy. And then by the end, everyone was good. But yeah, I just realized, like, as warriors of God, we're gonna be sent in to some dark, heavy places, and we got to shine our light. And yeah, it was great. Thank you, God.